Hello and welcome to my top 10 free PC games. Let's go. After DC Universe Online was released back in 2011, Marvel had no choice but to compete with its own MMORPG. It took 2 years, but the end result was a fun but shallow action RPG featuring a wide variety of playstyles for over 21 and hopefully familiar characters. 6 years later, the game has been rebooted twice and subsequently ported to consoles, jam-packed with content to make up for its previously limited gameplay. You can now, for instance, level up any character in story mode, of which there are over 100 to choose from, and timed drops means you don't have to spend real hard-earned currency to unlock additional characters. This is a great example of a traditional MMORPG that has evolved and adapted over time and is well worth a play. Neverwinter Online is a free-to-play MMO that has two big factors pulling in its favour. One, it's based on the incredible Neverwinter series of PC games, including Neverwinter Nights, a personal favourite of mine from my youth. 2, Neverwinter as a whole is based on Dungeons and Dragons. Neverwinter is an enjoyable MMO with 6 classes to choose from and a ton of quests to complete. Long-time D&D fans who have been aching for a new video game to whet their appetite need to look no further than Neverwinter. It has a super fun fighting mechanic and enough gameplay to last you years. Give it a go. Quite possibly one of the best mobile games to come out in the past 2 years, Fallout Shelter took everyone by storm, including me, and it's hard to believe it's still free. iOS, Android and PC users can control their very own vault and toy with the lives of their poor unsuspecting vault dwellers. Send them out into the wastes, make them lay their lives to defend the vault from raiders, or, if you're feeling maniacal, sabotage their fleeting moments of existence as you get a tad mad with power. It happens to the best of us. This is a great game to kill a boring day at the office, or when you have the indoors round. Give it a go, you won't regret it. Two years before Destiny, back in 2012, we had PlanetSide 2. It's an epic all-out first-person battle that you won't believe is a free game. Of course there are in-game purchases, but you can still set straight out of the default gear and feel useful on the battlefield. There is simply nothing like the mass assault on an enemy base and coming out on top, or at any moment an enemy convoy could be heading in your direction. This is one free game I urge you not to miss. This latest update to War Thunder features action-packed air, ground and sea battles. Whether in the sky or on the ground, the 16 vs 16 matches are filled with beautiful vehicle modules that bring the classic machines to life. Game types range from domination to ground attacks, and each has multiple objectives for different roles to complete, so you aren't stuck doing the same thing repeatedly. This game features terrific audio and visuals and is well worth a play. If you're curious about the MOBA scene, but the overhead viewpoint is a turn off for you, SMITE is a decent place to start. With WASD movement and behind the back perspective, SMITE feels more like an action game than an RTS. Like many other games, this is an increasingly crowded genre. There is an absurd number of characters to choose from, and you'll need to pony up some money if you want to access all of them right from the gate. Thankfully, a one-time purchase of $30, or £30 I believe, will unlock all of the existing characters and every future character as well. This is a great hybrid game that has a lot to give, even with the free-to-play version. This sci-fi third-person shooter from Digital Extremes has a lot to offer for thrifty players. You can spend dozens of hours shooting and slashing away with other players online, and you don't have to invest anything other than your time. Of course you can spend real money on in-game currency and items, but it's not always necessary to have a good time. Even better, it works surprisingly well on older systems, so almost anyone with a half-decent graphics card can join in and play. This is a fantastic, fast-paced action game which is even better value, in my opinion, with the upcoming open world expansion. Check it out. Without seeing more than a few screenshots, you might think Wildstar is a new IP from Ratchet & Clank developer Insomniac Games. It's a colourful and cartoony enough to sit alongside the same catalogue as Spyro, but this is no casual free-to-play MMO. If you like Blizzard games such as World of Warcraft, Wildstar will undoubtedly quench your thirst, since many of its developers at Carbine Studios came from Blizzard initially. Despite not landing as the next evolution of modern MMORPGs, according to its initial reviews, Wildstar holds its own as a traditional MMO that will keep you entertained for weeks. I strongly recommend you give this game a go. If you grew up playing collectible card games like Magic the Gathering and Pokemon, then Hearthstone Heroes of Warcraft is a game you should be looking into. Hearthstone takes the basic Magic formula, accumulating mana, using it to summon creatures or cast spells and so forth, but Hearthstone makes it even simpler by removing the land mechanic of Magic, in favour of granting one additional mana point each turn. This makes jumping into Hearthstone that much easier. It's one of those games that's very easy to pick up and you will spend a lot of time mastering its many internal mechanics. I cannot get enough of this game. Download it now. Pick your champion and head into battle in this amazing free-to-play game from the creators of Dota. League of Legends' automated matchmaking, range of characters and excellent maps have made it a multiplayer star over the past few years, and one well worth a play. The aim of the game is to destroy the opposing team's nexus. Sounds simple, right? It's a very aggressive game to play, but one that rewards good teamwork and careful tactics. Don't expect to master it overnight, but it won't be long before you're having fun with this game. This is one of my favourite free games to play, and it's a game that I always go back to every now and then, so I strongly recommend, if you haven't tried playing it before, give it a go. Thank you very much for watching. You can find links to the games mentioned in the description below. If you have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and maybe leave a comment. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.